It's time for the midweek update, and we got the update to end all updates. We finally have all 204 Disney Lorcana, the first chapter cards reviewed. So Monday was busy and awesome enough with a total of 5 content creators who reviewed 10 cards for us, while Team Lorcana dropped another 3 in the Discord for a total of 13. Links to all 5 content creators are in the video description, and with them getting to do card reviews once, chances are they'll get even more to do so in the future, so now is definitely a time to subscribe to all 5 of them. Tuesday, however, was the big day. The previously talked about Lorcana Companion ad finally released, and it dropped all the remainder cards we were still missing. 39 of them at one go. It's gonna be really tough to go through all 52 cards in this one video, so let me go through some of the best cards we got and then check out the rest on the wiki since all 204 cards are now fully updated there. Let's start this off with the Flood Bonds. In total, we now have 12 Flood Bonds, 2 for each ink. They can see what they all do on the wiki. And let's start off with Jasmine, Queen of Agrabah. Jasmine is a 5-cost shift tree that heals all your characters for 2 damage when you play her and whenever she quests. Pretty nice. Currently, I wouldn't shift into her since we only have one other Jasmine which costs 3 ink, but playing this Jasmine directly at 5 ink is also pretty good since she can pretty much heal all your characters, including herself, every turn. Your opponent will need to figure out how they can directly banish Jasmine in one single turn, or she'll just keep healing herself and everyone, making her really tough to get rid of. Our next Flood Bond is Dr. Facilia, Agent Provocateur, and this one is absolutely insane. He's basically Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer, which recovers all your brooms, but Facilia recovers every single other character that are banished in the challenge instead. With this, he's definitely going to be an absolutely must play for decks that like to swarm many small characters out, especially Maleficent biding her time. Just keep Facilia on the field and keep bringing out your small characters and quests every single turn. Let your opponent challenge to get rid of them just to have them return to your hand and you can play them again. Awesome stuff. Lastly, we have Genie for the last Flood Bond, and I really like this one. He's 8 in shift 6, which means you get to shift into him over another Genie and you can play him on turn 6, similar to Genie on the Job. Now, Genie on the Job is an absolute powerhouse who has won me many games so far since he kept returning my opponent's characters to hand, then just quest for lore every turn since he has evasive. Genie's Powers Unleashed, however, has that same evasive, and he brings along a really nice ability that allows you to play an action with cost 5 or less for free when he quests. Still want to return a character to hand? Mother Knows Best can be now played for free. Or you can just play Do It Again to get Mother Knows Best back to hand. Genie's Powers Unleashed is definitely a great card for all Genie fans to try out. Moving on to the non-Flood Bond stuff, Belle Strange but Special is a card you can bet everyone definitely wants to get a copy of, even if they're not playing her. Her artwork is really great and she has 2 great abilities that lets you add ink to the inkwell faster, and she also gains extra 4 lore if there's 10 cards in the inkwell or more, meaning she has 5 lore. Previously, ramping up with Sapphire Ink was just about ramping to get lots of ink, then you play all your high cost characters, but Belle is pretty low cost and she gives ramp decks their own princess boss character, and I'm all for it. Tamatoa is another one of those boss characters since he also gives a win condition to item slinger decks. He lets you retrieve item cards from your discard when he's played and whenever he quests, and he gets 1 extra lore as well for every item card that you have in play. With the right build, I can see him surrounded by 5 or more item cards for a lot of lore. Win conditions aside, I like cards that also help to create their own class and a deck out of it, like Cinderella for example. We finally got her. She has Singer 5, totally expected, but she also gets to remove up to 3 damage from any princess character by exerting her. A decent card, though I hope to get more princess support in the future. We also got the final Musketeer with Donald Duck Musketeer, who has bodyguard just like all the other Musketeers, but he also solves one big problem for all the Musketeers by giving his fellow Musketeers evasive during your turn. I faced Musketeer team decks before and found that they always have an issue dealing with evasive since they have the right amount of bulk to protect their other characters and stay on the board, but they couldn't do much to a deck that focuses on evasive characters. Donald Duck, however, now solves the issue for them by letting them take out evasive characters with his ability. We have a few more awesome cards like Hades Infernal Schemer, a card which I absolutely love the artwork, and he basically uses Let It Go when he's played by putting any opponent's character into the inkwell. Cost 7 is rather high, but Sapphire does ramp up the ink count really quickly, so that shouldn't be an issue. The Queen Wicked and Vain is also here with a nice, simple, powerful ability. Exert her to draw a card. Personally, I think this is tons better than Magic Mirror, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Magic Mirror costs 2 to play and another 4 to draw a card for a total of 6 ink, while the Queen only costs 5 to play and you can draw every turn if you want, for free. With how short on resources games go often in Lorcana, since you only draw 1 a turn but have to play multiple cards into your Ingwa and in play every turn, card draw is really important, and I think the Queen is a great card that will be added to many Amethyst decks. And finally, we have the big bad villain, the best card for multiplayer in the entire set, with Ursula. When you play Ursula, each of your opponent loses 1 law and you draw a card for each law they lose. Against a single opponent in a typical game, the card is just okay. Your opponent loses 1 law and you draw 1 card. Decent, but nothing special. But if you're playing in, for example, a 4-player game, you take out 1 law from each of your 3 opponents and draw 3 cards. Really awesome, and also a great way to make yourself the target of everyone playing in the game. And so these are the more notable cards I like from this week's reviews. Now that we have all the cards, I hope to do deck builds and study through which are some of the decks to definitely try out. Let me know if there's any deck you'd like me to try out and put it into a video. Going back to the Lorcana app though, I really like this companion app. The app is fast and responsive, and there's a really lovely card catalog where you can see all 204 cards from the first chapter. The best part? You can even see the foil versions of the card, which actually shimmers as you move your phone around to simulate how the foil cards will look like in the light. The app also functions as a collector's app where you can select it if you own a card or you want to add it to a wish list. There's also an awesome deck builder where you start off by choosing the inks that you want to use, then the builder only shows all the cards from those ink. Awesome stuff. There's a simple law calculator that you can use when playing the game, which is currently limited to 2-player games, but I think it would be nice if they could increase it to allow for more players who want to play multiplayer games. All this is part of Lorcana Week, where the gamer is doing tons of content for it. They have a complete guide for all the content they've made for Lorcana for this week that you should definitely check out that post. The main one you should definitely go check out though for now is the starter deck guide, since the contents for the starter decks are now out. For those of you planning to go to Gen Con and play in the starter deck tournament, you definitely want to check out the deck list and consider your strategy for each deck. I've also compiled the list on the wiki for easy access, and I also look into comparing the 3 different decks to see which one you should get when you're purchasing them, so you should definitely subscribe if that's something you are interested in. The gamer also has 2 other videos up, including an interview of Lorcana co-designer Ryan Miller. And in the video, Ryan talks about his whole experience doing card game design, how he was like at D23 last year, the creative process for Disney Lorcana, and a lot more. I especially like the part where he says the focus is on making the community fun and welcoming, so they won't be doing anything like tournaments with big cash prizes. So that is something for all of us to expect for organized play. I have the video link in the description below as well, so you should definitely go check that one out. Last but not least, the Disney Lorcana website updated with a news page. Currently, there's only one article there where Ryan Miller shared his experience for the UK Games Expo and how there are over 1,500 people interested to give Disney Lorcana a shot. I think this kind of posts are great, and I absolutely hope there are more of such posts in the future since they give insight into the creative process. And that's it for this midweek news update. Now that we finally got all the cards, the next big news to hear about most definitely is about Gen Con next week, including that starter deck challenge tournament, which I know many people who are going are all preparing for. Also, Lorcana Week is still going on with the gamer this whole week, so stay tuned to them for more updates. And that's about it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. This is D7 from Mushu Report, signing out.